Boom.
Welcome back to Mic'd Up and Misinformed with your hosts, Lunch Money and Mad Dog. Today we're going to be giving our picks out for UFC Fight Night, Zong versus Figueroa.
Let's go. This is a crazy card, and they're in China, so it's early start. For us on the West Coast, it's gonna be it starts at 1 a.m. The main card starts at 4 a.m. So you better set your alarm to get up, people.
So be ready to stay up. What would it be? Friday night, pretty much.
Pretty much, dude. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'll
Yeah,
come home
Friday
from work,
night.
I'll take a nap, and get up and
Exactly.
start watching.
Sweet. Well, that's what we'll be doing. There's a lot of fighters I'm not real familiar with on this card.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
it's there's not a lot of like contender fights on this card either, but nonetheless, I appreciate there being one because weekends without the UFC freaking suck.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I get a weekend off, no big deal. But then I'm like, now I'm bored. I have nothing to do.
Yeah, when there's not a UFC card, it feels like something's missing. So I'm ready for
Right.
the action.
And then we're only 2 weeks away from the Freedom 250, so the White House car is gonna be a banger, and it's just right around the corner.
I was actually just looking at a post showing the updated construction of where the um, like the arena or whatever the octagon is going to be on the front
Yeah,
lawn and stuff, and it looks so dope.
yeah. I saw the like preliminary small scale thing they had. I mean, it looks legit, dude, for sure.
All right, man. So let's get into these matchups. Our first one of the night is a women's matchup. It's Amorium versus Luke Boume. Who do you got in this one?
Dude, I think Amorium's a little bit more well-rounded, and she's really good at submission artists. So if she can get her hands on Luke Boume, I think it's over, dude. I don't think Luke Boume's really brought any like crazy talent. All of her fights seem to go to decision. So it's like she doesn't really have the hands for knockout. She doesn't have the ground ability. So I think Amorium can come in here and really get a submission if she can get her hands on her and just take her down and be done. But it's going to be a tough first round. I think maybe second or third round submission is where it's at.
I like Amorium in this matchup as well. I feel like Loma is a little bit better on the feet, but Amorium could either finish this with a submission or finish it with just enough control time throughout 3 rounds. So I'm thinking
100%.
Amorium has more paths to victory, and that price tag of I think she's like a minus 170 or around that range. So
Minus 130. So, I mean, the odds are good
wow,
too.
so the odds have shifted. So I think that's a
Yeah.
good play piece right there.
Yep. Yeah, I like that a lot, dude. That's my first martingale.
That's your first play of your martingale method.
Yeah.
All right, man. First fight of the night. Just get
First
out the
fight of
way.
the night. Yeah. If it hits, then that's it. Done. Take that profit and run.
Take that profit and be degenerate on the rest of the fights.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, next up we have Zhu Kanji versus Rodrigo Vera. This is a featherweight matchup. Who do you got in this one?
Well, Zoo's got the home field advantage. It's in China, right? So again, if you're traveling there, that's a long travel, long flight. You got to get there. You still got to eat right. You got to make weight and still be, getting your training in. So I think it's gonna be tougher for a lot of people traveling there. So I like Zoo for the home advantage. He has 12 knockouts, and his name is the one punch man or the hypnosis. So I mean, this guy's got some serious knockout power. And Vera took the fight on short notice too, so I'm leaving heavily towards Zoo.
What's the odds on this one?
Basically a
Isn't
pick
it
'em
pretty
minus
close?
110. Yeah, 110 for both.
You talked me into it. I'm riding Kanji with you as well. Let's go Zhu Kanji.
And that's number two of the Martingale, baby. Just getting it out of the way early.
Dang, you are rocking with the early ones. I'm glad we agree on these early matchups. Next up, we have the OG of the UFC. Um, I think she's like 41, maybe even 42 years old. We have Angela Hill versus Xinnan Zong. Sorry if I can't pronounce her name right, but she's 19-2. She's new to the UFC, and
Yeah,
she's
first
also a
UFC.
veteran as well. She's in her late 30s.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
both women are vets. And
So she
this
does.
is Xinan's this might be her first UFC fight.
It is. It's her first UFC fight, and like you said, they both have similar amount of fights in a sense for the wins, but Angela Hill has far more losses. So 18-16 versus 19-2. Zhang, like you said, dude, she has 11 KOs. She's been around for a while in different organizations. This is her first chance in the UFC. I think she comes in here and gets the job done, dude. I'm just not a big fan of Angela Hill overall. I know you like her a little bit more, but I don't know. I just feel like she's kind of getting past her prime, and she's the low level gatekeeper at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think Angela Hill is definitely lost a couple steps, especially as she's aged these last couple years.
Yeah.
Her only path to victory here is if it's the most boring grappling wrestling type of fight, and she tries getting it to the ground and winning on control time. But outside of that, I just don't see her getting a finish, and I think um, Xinnan has more paths to victory here.
Yeah, I like Zong at minus 190. So that's actually my third leg of the parlay. So I got to get up early to make sure I get these bets in.
Is that your third leg of the martingale method, or you're putting
Of
that
the,
in a
of the,
parlay too?
of the martingale, sorry, of the martingale.
Got you. Okay. So yeah, I like Jean on. I'm not. I don't think she's a lock, but I do like her to win. I think that's a pretty comfortable pick.
Yep, yeah.
This next one's a real tricky one. We have um, Ray Saruya versus Luis Garul. I know Saruya is like. I think he's like a minus 200 or something in this matchup, maybe minus 250.
Yeah, minus 240. Yeah, right in the center, basically.
Saruya's lost one time. Garul is I want to say he's what, like 1-2 or 1-3 in the UFC.
Yeah, exactly. I think 1 and 2. He hasn't performed well in the UFC. And Ray's only lost to Joshua Van by decision. So I mean, he even went the distance with Van. So I mean, that's he's got a good chin. He's a good overall, wrestler, grappler. So I mean, I think he gets the job done. At minus 240, the odds aren't terrible still.
Yeah, I know Saruya likes to get the fight to the ground, and Van is a very good with his takedown defense.
Yeah.
Um, in this matchup, the question is he going to be able to get Garul to the ground? And if he does, can he finish him? The biggest difference I'm seeing in this fight is Saruya is only 23 years old. Garul is 32. So at 32, you would imagine that Garul's like peaked out in terms of his prime. And with Saruya, he's still a kid just learning right now.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Now, if Garul came in here and was like dominating as soon as he walked into the UFC, I might feel differently. But I just feel like he hasn't performed at the level that the UFC expects or needs for these guys to keep moving up the ranks.
Yeah, the only thing I question in this fight is Saruya's stand-up game. Obviously he wants to get it to the ground, but what does
Yeah,
he look like if Garul does stuff the takedowns? But in my opinion, I think he will be able to get these takedowns and win on control time, or possibly find a submission here. I'm taking Saruya.
love it, dude. So far, we're together, man.
Let's get it, dude. Next up, we have. Oh, this is a hard one to pronounce. We have
Quiling Oria?
Oriki uh, Oriki Lang versus Cody
Yeah.
Haddon. I know Haddon's like a minus 300 here. I feel like he's better overall. Overall, as a fighter in every aspect, I think Haddon's a little bit more skilled. I feel comfortable taking Haddon in a is a parlay piece here.
So I mean, he has won his last two fights here. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the underdog on this one just because I think the odds are a little bit skewed, and I think it fights going to be closer overall. And then again, going back to the home field advantage, I think Oria's got. I think the odds should be closer, so I'm going to take the value on the underdog on this one.
You're taking Oriki Lang.
Yeah, Ariki Ling, I love it, dude. I'm taking Ariki Ling
So Ricky Lang has had, let's
plus
see.
280, and Hayden's at minus 360.
All
He's
right,
had
and
some good competition though.
Ricky
He has
Lang
fought
is
good people.
two wins in his last 5 fights, or his last 2 wins in his last 4 fights. So
Yeah.
it might play out pretty close, bro. I think Cody Haddon's pretty talented.
I mean, honestly, you put Hayden in a parlay. I think that's solid. I like the value on the underdog here. I think the fight's gonna come closer than the odds are saying.
All right, fair enough. Well, I'm glad we disagree on at least one. So
Yeah.
hopefully we disagree on some more here in the next couple. Next up, we have Ding Mang, who's 35-9, versus Jose Enrique. Who do you got in this one?
So it's weird because Ding's got a lot of fights, dude. He's got like 44 fights total. So I mean, he's been in the ring a lot. He's got a lot of experience, but he's lost on the Contender Series. I feel like you haven't brought him back for a reason, except for this fight. And Jose Enrique's got 6 KOs, so I'm going Jose on this one. And the odds, Enrique are plus 100, and Ding Mang is at minus 120. So again, I'm leaning towards the underdog with the KO power.
Yeah, it's interesting. They both lost on the Contender Series, and outside of that, they've really just had success outside of the UFC in these
Yeah.
smaller organizations. So it seems like it's going to be a pretty low level fight overall. But I'm going to take Jose Enrique here. He's only had one loss, and he's coming off 3 wins in a row. I think momentum's a serious thing, and he's going to come out with the victory here.
Let's go, baby.
All right, man. Next up, we have Yisok. I hate if I can't pronounce these guys right, but I do feel pretty confident in this pick. We have
Yisok
Yisok
Lee.
Lee versus Luis Felipe Diaz. I'm taking Felipe Diaz in this one, bro. He's a
All right,
unit. I think
I
he's going to be a
personally
lot
don't
bigger
like.
in the ring, and I think he might find a knockout here.
All right, I didn't have a pick. I put both these guys look well rounded. Their stats were very similar. I don't think either of them has been in the UFC, right?
I'm looking up.
I don't
Let's see.
think either
So,
has been in the
um,
UFC.
I know Diaz has only had one fight in the on the Contender Series, and he had a second round finish. I think is by submission.
Okay.
And then Yisok Lee, I don't know if he has fought in the UFC. I'm looking right now. This is his first fight in the UFC. He's won his last 2 fights he's won by submission, and then he's had he's had in his last 5 fights, one loss. He lost by submission, but in his 4 wins, 2 submissions and 2 knockouts. So it tells
Yeah,
me he's extremely aggressive, and he's looking for the
that's what.
finish.
All right, that's good. I like that. Yeah, but I mean I'll take either way, dude. So if you say Diaz, I'll take Diaz
He
minus
is by
170.
KO, bro.
Diaz by KO minus 175. KO obviously is going to pay better. Yisak Lean is at plus 145. So you can get Diaz at KO plus 400. I mean, that's great.
The thing is Diaz could finish it by submission or win it by decision. I feel like he could win all 3 ways, but I like Diaz mostly as a parlay piece. But I definitely could see him getting the knockout. Regardless, both guys are coming out to get the finish, so I don't see the fight going to a decision.
So I mean, yeah, this could be take the under 2.5.
Yeah, I think that's a attractive play for sure as well.
Yeah, yeah. Even to not go the distance is at minus 235. So they have
Yeah,
it
it's fine.
total rounds over 1.5 minus or oh yeah over 1.5 minus 141. So even the odds makers aren't expecting this to make it out of the second round.
Yeah, that might if I could, I wish I could bet which fight will be the fight of the night because that one would be a low key. Uh,
That's legit, dude. That would be a fire bet, actually.
that'd
That
be
should
kind of
pay
a fun thing to
big
have
odds.
as an option on the sports betting apps. Who will get the performance
100%.
of the night and who will get fight of the night?
That's legit, dude. That would be good because the odds would be pretty stacked up too. If there's
Yeah,
13 or
because
14 fights,
they're always gonna have the main or the co-main event is the highest favored uh,
yeah.
fights to win that award.
And sometimes those are the most boring because it's like they don't really do much the first round or two sometimes.
Yeah, it seems like when guys get higher up fighting for the belt, when they get higher up in contention, they fight more so to not lose the fight than
Yeah.
opposed to like finishing and winning the fight. It's like
100%,
I'm
dude.
gonna fight more defensive and more safe the
Just
higher I
yeah,
get up in the rankings.
fighting conservatively.
Next up, we have Sumidarje versus Alex Perez. Last time I checked, I think that the odds are pretty close in this one.
They're close. Alex Perez at minus 140, Suma Darjing at plus 120. I'm leaning towards the underdog here too, man. Alex Perez has only won 2 of his last 5 fights. Suma Darjing is coming from Team Alpha Male. I like that camp. I think they get a lot of good people coming out of there. So I mean, I'm taking the underdog again here.
Yeah, I feel like the crowd is going to be on Sumidarje's side. Um, who knows what the traveling was like for Alex Perez? That's a long flight for him, and
That
and
that's what I
big
think. I think it's
adjustment.
going to mess up some of these
I,
guys.
I Sumidarje is really unpredictable. I worry about his gas tank in his fights, but I like for him being an underdog. I think the value is definitely on his side. I would even maybe sprinkle Sumidarje by knockout,
All right, get it, boss. Let's see what those odds
like
are. That's
finding a
that's
second
picking
or
up.
third round knockout late in the fight.
Plus 450 for the KO, yeah.
That'd be sick.
And even
All
under
right,
two
next
and a half plus 100. So that's good.
Yeah, that's not a bad one at all. I feel like if Alex Perez wins, he's gonna win by a decision and just make it a
Fight
control time,
conservatively.
constant
Yeah.
shooting takedowns all matchup, all match. All right, next up we have a good welterweight fight here: Jake Matthews versus Carlston Harris. The odds are a little bit crazy in my opinion.
That's the only thing I don't like, dude. Jake Matthews at minus 350, Harrison at plus 275. I do think Matthews is more well rounded. He should be looking for the KO here. He can fight a little aggressive. And Harrison, same. He's only won two of his last five fights, so he's 2-3.
Yeah, and Harris is also 38 years old, opposed to Matthews being 31. I think that's a big
That
factor
makes a
as well.
difference. Yeah.
Matthews is like, you know, entering or in the midst of his prime versus Carlson is definitely, if anything, is on the decline in the fight game. In this matchup, though, it's a pass for me. I feel like Matthews should win this fight. He has more paths to victory, but I can't justify the price tag of him being. Last time I checked, I think it was a minus 300 to minus 350 odds.
Yeah, minus 350 for Matthew. So the odds are not there. I mean, that's can be a parlay piece or make that the end of the early kind of early fight parlays and hedge it as needed.
Yeah, it's for me. I feel like Harris is alive. It's dog or pass. Harris is a live dog in that matchup.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, honestly, I think it's a pass. Like you said, I think Matthews wins, but there's just no value.
All right, man. I feel like we're gonna be on split sides on this next fight. We have
Oh, we
Kai
got.
Sakura versus Cameron Smotherman. I'm gonna just tell you right now, I'm taking Smotherman, and I don't
Yeah,
think
maybe let's go. I think
you're on him
Smotherman's
too,
gonna smother him, dude. I think Smotherman's gonna smother him. I think he's
dude.
just gonna
I didn't. I
grapple and
don't.
go to
I'm
submission,
shocked.
bro.
I feel like you were gonna be on Asakura, and I feel like the public's gonna be all over Kai.
I think the public's gonna be all over him, but he's lost both of his UFC fights. He's same. He hasn't really showed up. He hasn't been doing what he needs to in the ring. And I think Cameron's overall grappling and submission game is just gonna outclass him, dude. Honestly, if he can get his hands on him and take him down, I think it's over.
We got to see how Smotherman looks as he's making weight. But if he looks good, I feel like it's hard to not take him. He's gonna be. I feel like he's gonna be a lot bigger than Asakura, and
100%.
his. I feel like in fighting, your mental is everything, and your momentum, confidence, and Kai had all this hype going into that title fight, and then he gets dogged out, and then he fights Tim Elliott, which is like his layup fight to get back into contention again, and then he loses that. So I feel like his confidence, his whole mentality is been shut down, and Smotherman has nothing to lose here.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose. I think Smotherling comes in and gets the job done. And at plus 240, dude, I gotta love those odds, especially thinking it should be closer.
Yeah, I mean, if I was making the odds on this fight, I would put Asakura at maybe a minus 145, minus 150, but I can't justify that price tag. And
Yeah,
it is almost coin flip fight. I think Smotherman it has more paths to victory in this as well. So
yeah,
I'm
baby.
taking that dog. That might be one of the best dogs of the card. I can't believe you're on that side.
I know, me neither, dude. I didn't think you were gonna be there either, because especially at plus 240. But I gotta love the dog here, dude.
All right, so how about this next one? We have Sergei Pavlovich versus Talison Tashera. Who do you got in this one?
Dude, this is weird. I feel like all the last three fights, the odds are kind of crazy for everyone. I think Sergey gets the job done, dude. I think he comes in and gets the KO, but the odds are crazy at minus 600. I mean, it's like, what do you do with that? You just go and put him for the KO specific? I mean, there's just not a lot of value here on the last three fights. So it's like you got
Yeah,
to
if you're
throw
on
all
the
these
Sergei
guys in.
side, you might have to take him specifically to win by knockout in round one or round one and two, something like that. But you're gonna have to be real specific to try to get anything at plus money or even at even odds.
Because
But
even
as
just the
far as the
KO is
parlay
at
goes,
minus two
if you're on the
seventy
Sergey
five.
side, I'd just probably pass.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one, dude. But yeah, Sergey and the parlay or pass for sure.
You know what though, bro? I'm taking Talison to share in this matchup.
That's
Now,
this is one of those fights where these two
I
heavyweights are
don't think
just going to be
I don't think
swinging.
he's more talented. I don't think he has more power, but it's two heavyweights. And if you're ever
Anybody
going to
can get
give me a
caught.
heavyweight fight where the underdog is he's 6'7", he's 4 inches
Yeah,
taller than Sergey. It's interesting though because Sergey has a 1 inch reach advantage on
yeah.
Tashera, which is wild. But when you put two guys that big in the octagon, give me the underdog.
And these guys want to knock each other out. These guys are looking for headhunting shots,
It
right?
only
So
takes one shot, so
yeah,
I like to share for the value a lot in this matchup. I'm might even sprinkle him on a knockout prop, just on a straight bet.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset at that at all.
Like I mean, because you're probably if you took to share by knockout, you're probably
Minus
getting plus like what 500.
minus 275 for Pavlovich for 270 or yeah, minus 275 for KO, plus 650 for Teixeira KO.
So you're getting 6.5 times your
Yeah,
wager for a guy that's
that
just
very
as big
well
and
could
heavy
get a
as his
KO.
opponent.
Yeah, I mean he very well could
Guys are
get
going
a
to be
KO.
about 260. But yeah, Sergey should win the fight, but I don't think he's that much of the superior fighter.
Not a minus 600. That's tough.
Yeah, but all right, dude. Next up, we have Alonzo Minifield versus Zhang Mingyang. Who do you got in this one?
Well, I feel like it's a similar boat. Like either of these guys could get a KO. Zong's got 14 KOs out of his 19 wins, though. And same, I feel like he's got the home field advantage. The crowd's going to be on him. And a minus 260, I'm taking Zhang, dude.
You got to take Zhang. Alonzo's making the long flight. Alonzo's peaked out in the UFC.
Yeah.
Um, his ground game's not his go-to. He likes to stand and trade, and Zhang is his strengths are just being able to stand and trade. So I think in a kickboxing match, you have to take Zhang Mingyang. I think it's a lock here,
Yeah, minus 260. Those are good odds. I think Zhang gets the
and you
job
can
done.
parlay that too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
So I feel like Alonso is just a little bit too slow. If he connects, he could knock out Zhang, but I feel like Zhang is just going to pick him apart and get a late stoppage or just a decision win.
Yeah, he's just technically so much sounder on the feet.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we have the main event: Song Yedong versus Davison Figueroa. Um, w- bro, this is a layup for Song Yedong. It's an
Thank
absolute
you.
layup.
Thank you. Yes, dude. I think again, Song gets the job done here. They put him in front of the home crowd to get this massive layup. Figueroa, I think, is just past his prime at this
He's
point, dude.
cooked, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and I think this is just a perfect fight for Song to put Figueiredo as a win on his resume because
Yeah.
Figueiredo is a two-time champion for the flyweight division. So to beat him looks great on your resume. But he did that in the flyweight division. This is a whole nother weight class, and like you said, ever since Davison moved up to the bantamweight division, he's really been humbled, and his opponents aren't getting the best version of him either because he's pushing 40 years old now. You
Yeah, it
know,
just gets
he's
harder to train. It gets harder to cut the weights. Like it's harder to get leaned out. I just think he's past his prime, dude. I can see him doing a few more fights. That UFC will probably grant him that, but he's on the
he's
decline
getting
here.
a big paycheck too. I mean, he's the
Yeah.
ex champ. He's getting good paychecks for every time he fights. So I think he's just collecting retirement checks right now. Versus
Yeah.
Song is hungry. You know,
And
if
Song
you're
looked
asking
good
yourself
against
who's
O'Malley
the
too.
hungrier fighter right now, Song Yudong wants that title shot. You know, and he had a relatively close fight versus Sean O'Malley, and this is his layup fight to get back in contention.
Yeah, 100%. And Song looked good against O'Malley. He did look pretty good. So this
I
is a
like
good fight.
Song to get a knockout. in rounds 3, 4, or 5. I think he just beats up Figueredo in the first 2 rounds. But with it being the main event, 5 rounds, I feel like Figueredo is going to fade. Um, I don't think he has that dog in him anymore, and Song has
Yeah,
too much power in his hands. I think
yeah.
uh, if he's still hanging around in rounds 3, 4, and 5, it's either going to be a KO or the ref's going to wave it off.
And again, at 41, 42, going for 20, 25 minutes, that's tiring, dude.
Yeah, and his heart's not in it anymore.
All right, so
And
for
figure it out. One, what's his best chance at winning? Get,
KO,
taking Song down and getting a rear naked choke. That's the only way I
yeah,
can see winning. I think
yeah, on this flip side, I just don't see that. I think Song's gonna outclass him and everywhere, dude.
because Song can eat shots too.
Yeah.
Fig does have power in his right hand, but I think Song would just eat that.
No, I mean I mean even O'Malley, dude, couldn't get the job done, against Song. I mean, Song's got a chin, man. He can withstand it. So, I think
Yeah,
Song's solid.
yeah.
So
Song's a
for my parlay, I'm essentially taking the last three fights. I'm taking Sergei, Zhang, and Song, and it parlay them all together. It gives you minus 110. So I'm doing that for my parlay piece.
that's a safe one. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
I
taking
think it's
Tashera
smart.
though, so I probably won't copy that play just because I'm gonna sprinkle Tashera.
That's
My
fine.
parlay starting from top going down. My safe one is I'm taking Yedong,
Yep.
Zhang Mingyang,
Hold up, bro.
and
Sorry.
then I'm taking that Luis Felipe Diaz.
Give me your second one, Zhang.
Yeah, sorry. So Yedong,
Yep.
Zhang,
Yep. And then
um,
Felipe Diaz
yep,
plus 154.
yeah. Let's do that.
All right.
All right, and then I got a crazy parlay for you.
Let's go. All
All
right,
right,
let's do
so
the crazy one.
let's take Amorium,
All right, back to the lower. Boom. Amorium.
um, Sumadarje, Smotherman, Zhang. Sorry
Hold
if
up.
I'm going fast.
You're just going fast, bro. Boom. All right, Smotherland. And then Zhang.
Zhang and then Yedong.
All right, bam. Shit, plus 2,038, baby.
That's a banger right there. And I think
That's
we
legit.
agreed on all those ones.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I think this has got real chance.
I'd even put Angela Hill's opponent on there, but I'm happy. We can just leave that off because the plus 2,000 is already pretty solid.
Yeah, I would say, dude. All right, done. Yeah, I think that's solid picks, dude, honestly. And again, I'm surprised we're on a couple of those underdogs, but I love it, dude.
Yeah. And if I had to put like what's my if I had to put like my favorite straight bet, I think I would take Yedong by knockout. I feel like you could get close to you should be able to get close to pick 'em odds on that, but I'm just guessing.
No, dude, you're right. At Zong Yeding at KO plus 115. That kind of surprises me. You
For
even get a
Song
plus
Yedong by knockout, 115.
yeah, 115.
I feel like if you just because 5 rounds to knock out Fig, who's 1 foot in, 1 foot out of retirement, and just collecting checks. I feel like that's a and Yedong's gonna have the crowd with him, hyping him up to
Yeah.
go finish it. I feel like that's a really good
And
play.
again, Fig's got the age, he's got the traveling to go. There's so many factors against him in this fight. So even if you
And
took the
dude,
fight
Fig
just to
had the
not go the
worst weight
distance,
cuts at flyweight. He still has terrible weight cuts at bantamweight, dude.
it just gets harder, bro. As you get older,
Fig's
it just
body
gets
can't take
harder.
it no more.
Yeah, exactly. It just gets harder to give up that water weight. But even if you
Yeah.
took the fight just to not go the distance, minus 130. So I mean, so this way, if either guy pulled off a submission or whatever, you still good money there, minus 130.
On the main event,
Yeah,
not going to finish is what?
minus 130.
That's a great play. You
Yeah,
got
somebody you could even go 28,
rounds.
or 24 minutes, and it as long as someone gets the finish either way. So I don't
Yeah,
I don't
I
mind
like that
that
a lot.
honestly. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Because like you said, if Figueroa did pull out a submission or something crazy, then you still win, on either side. But I think Song gets the job done, dude.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like that. So I know the last card that we did a podcast on and talked about it's funny because I was so confident with that Hamza and Strickland card, but that was a tough one, bro. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
Strickland pulled it off. What a
You just
dog.
Yeah, exactly. Strickland's crazy. You just never know, bro. That's what we say, right? It's like we give our best picks and our best, attributes to these guys, but sometimes they just get it done. Now, I will say I don't know, the judges maybe pushed or leaned that one direction. I don't know if Strickland truly won that fight in my eyes, but
I thought it was close. I feel like Strickland did a little bit more damage, but
yeah.
it was definitely worthy of a rematch. I'll say
It's
that.
worthy of a rematch for sure. Cuz didn't Strickland even get his nose broke like early in the rounds?
Possibly.
Yeah, because
I know
I
I
feel like
was
in the second or third round, he goes to the corner and his coach is like, "Don't blow your nose out," because they'll blow it, and then their freaking eye will swell up. So I'm like, I
uh
think his nose is broken, but I don't know. I think they give Strickland a little too much credit on that fight, but I would love to see that rematch, dude, because I think both those
yeah.
guys would come out, make those
I was
adjustments.
depressed going into that main event because I had um Tyra on all my tickets. I was so confident he was going to beat Van, and Van dogged him out. Man, he ended up finding
Yeah,
a stoppage.
yeah,
So
Van's
respect to
just
him.
good, man. It's again, he's got a little bit of momentum, and yeah, it's just hard sometimes, But I feel confident about these picks on this card. I think we got it, and again, I think the traveling is going to make a difference for some of these guys having to travel further. I think that's going to make a big difference, and again, we're doing this on Wednesday night, so we'll see what happens on Friday at weights. Some of these guys
Yeah,
might look terrible, and then we know for sure that we made the right picks.
yeah, 100%. The weight cuts will make a big difference,
Yeah.
especially with the underdogs that we did pick on the card. So this is how I'm looking at it. If you guys are betting out there, this is my thought process. Every parlay that I do, I'm gonna put is the last two legs, Mingyang and Song Yedong.
Yeah.
So because I feel like those two are locks. So everybody else that I plug in, the last two legs will be Mingyang and Song Yedong for the co-main and main event.
And then you can just hedge the heck out of it as needed, if you
Yeah.
wish.
So that's what I'm thinking, bro.
No, this is good. And then we got the NHL. We're almost to the Stanley Cup, so that's gonna
Yes.
be good, dude. The Golden Knights already made it. Hurricanes probably on their way after this.
Yeah, personally, if the Hurricanes do end up making it to play the Golden Knights, I got the Hurricanes winning it in 5 or 6.
I don't know, dude. Honestly, I didn't think the Golden Knights were gonna get past the Avalanche. So, and I'm a Golden
Shocking,
Knights
bro. The
fan.
Avalanche were the
Yeah,
top dogs going into the playoffs, odds
yeah.
wise.
So
A lot
I'm
of people
loving
have
the
future
Golden
bets
Knights
on
right
them.
now, dude. I'm loving the Golden Knights right now. But the Hurricanes are so strong. I think they've only lost 2 games all playoffs. So I mean that's they got the right coaching and the right talent right now. So I think it's going to be tough, but I can see it going to honestly 6 or 7 for sure. And then I'm leaning towards the Golden Knights. And I know on the basketball side, you already got a bunch of futures in on both. What'd you say, the Knicks and the Spurs?
Yeah, I have future bets on the Knicks and the Spurs. So at this moment, as we're recording, the Spurs are in the Western Finals against the Thunder. They're down 3-2. So we'll see how that plays off to see who makes it to the championship. But on the East side, the Spurs have. I'm sorry, the Knicks
The
have
Knicks.
established themselves in the finals. So I
Yep.
will have some juice no matter what since the Knicks are in the finals.
Yeah, so I mean, you put yourself in a good place already, and I know on
Yeah,
the
able to
podcast you
hedge a
said
little bit.
even earlier in the year that you had the Knicks and Spurs. So
Yeah, so hopefully they come through for me, man. Big game tomorrow. The Spurs have to win to take that to Game 7 in the
are they at
West.
home? They're at the
Yeah,
Spurs.
they'll be at home for Game 6, so
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
that gives them a huge advantage. And again, the basketball, especially those two teams, dude, has been so wild. Just the differential and the point scoring is just
It's
crazy.
crazy. Like, dude, 2 games ago, the Spurs won at home by like 21 or 23 points, and then
Yeah.
last night the Thunder won by 13 at home. So,
Yep.
um, it's been every game's been a box of chocolates between
Yeah.
these teams.
Yep.
So
Again,
as
it's
soon
like
as you think one team took momentum, the next night the other team rips it from them.
Yep. So again, you're doing great, dude. I think you're set up well this year. All
But
right, guys. Well, bet
all right, guys,
smart.
that's
Be
our picks
safe.
for the UFC. Tail us, fade us, do whatever you want to do.
Right. All right. Peace out.
Mike.